This is Rod Rollins coming to you live from the digital studios of Mr. X, presently located in Janet Mothershed's basement. I know. Broadcasting into the digital universe. See if I can do this in 15 minutes. That's all MTV gives me. YouTube gives me. But you can do something. I don't know, and then they call you or something. A robot calls you and verifies you. Anyway, Raytheon, RTN, they make Tomahawk missiles. How do you know? Because it says right on the side of them, Raytheon. Now, Trump shot 59 Tomahawks into Syria, and that's a warning shot to the Russians. That's military strategy #1, isn't it? The warning shot. Either he gets with us or get out, and they're going to kill that Assad guy. I don't know if it's oil pipelines or whatever. It's whatever it is. And what was it? The Carl Vincent moved over North Korea. Kim Jong, whatever his name is. He's a nutcase. He's worse than his dad. And Trump just met with XI. I don't know his name, from China. Letting him know what's up. And that guy, he could take out millions. That would be absolutely nuts. But anyway, $79 million to replace these suckers. Raytheon won't say. Probably be $100 million because there's a new generation. The Navy's got 4,000 of them. They used about 1,000 since they've been invented about 25, 30 years ago. And the Brits have them too. So that's a nice big strong uptrend in Raytheon. And I have the resolution jacked up all the way on my monitor to try to get the best capture. It doesn't look so good when you go to a web page. You have to go back down. And you have to go down here by the gear tab. Put this on high resolution and go down here somewhere in that area. And put it on full screen. And here's Tesla after, I don't know how many years. And this rectangle finally broke out this week over the resistance of the rectangle and the cycle high that was sitting there. Now, supposedly valuation wise, they're bigger than GM or something. Sort of a weird comparison. And you got an orderly uptrend there. This is where that cycle high came from. So Tesla broke out. And there's a lot of points in here. I can't put an arrow up here after measuring it. It's not enough room. But what is there, 100 and some points between these two? Okay. Race, I got to put that on daily. That's Ferrari. This has been a very successful IPO. It's softened up here lately. But remember this daily chart. Get it back here. Wasting daylight. Anyway, the IPO is over there. Still can't get it, huh? It messes with stuff when you put this high resolution. Almost there. There it is. That's the IPO. And you broke that initial IPO high right here. And it's been in an uptrend, and this is a pitchfork. In the old days, they called that medium and high and low. And it's softened up, and it's testing this cycle high it broke. And you don't want to break that right there. You don't want to break that support. And you're getting this right here. It needs to bounce, or that trend will be over on that IPO. Ferrari. Gotta go back to weekly here. Oil, this is the big thing happening here. You got this ascending triangle. Oil just bounced off the bottom of it, and this little cycle low sitting there. And Kimball's looking at that. I think he's long oil one way or another. He's looking for a breakout here. Hasn't done it yet. You can see this is pretty much trendless. There's no orderly uptrend sitting there. And that's DBO. That's oil. Here's a REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. I don't know what they hold. Doctors' offices. Some hold just business offices. Some hold skyscrapers. Some hold apartments. You'd have to look it up. But it's broken out of this ascending triangle. It seems to be real happy with the interest environment. And it broke that cycle high. And that's NLY, Annaly Capital Management Incorporated. And this utilities, they're looking to try to break out still. XLU. And they have a little uptrend, but need to break out. And Spectrum's clean. Here's the S&P 500. It comes up. I'm getting faster than a computer. And there's that rectangle that was very difficult in 2015 and 16 till it broke out. There's your measured target. It hit the target. There's a Fibonacci extension level that sits right here too, and the market softened up. But it's still in an uptrend. These guys keep saying it's in a downtrend, but they're looking at oscillators. They look at daily data. There's a leasing in daily data and spectral dilation. But right here there is, nobody I think has said it yet, there is a little teeny double top. Hal 9000 from Oslo might know it. I'd have to go look at that. But there's a tiny little double top. That's very tiny. There's a double top, double top. So if you measured that out, just right down into here, it's almost there sort of on the daily. There's a little double top on the S&P 500. Otherwise everything is a-okay until it's not, and everything would look the opposite on the weekly chart. And UUP, the dollar. Now Trump said something, oh, the dollar's too high and stuff, and the media jumped all over this, and they showed some funky little chart. I think it was a daily 15-minute chart or something. Oh, the dollar's collapsing. Well, the dollar's not collapsing. It's been stuck in this rectangle for, I don't know, a year and something. And it came up here and tested that top of that, and that cycle high. Didn't like it, and it's just sort of been soft, just sitting in here like that. And the euro looks exactly inverse to that. Almost exactly. And silver, take that out a little bit, and gold looks the same. It's testing this long-term downtrend channel, or not channel, trend line. It was sort of a channel, and now it's in an up. Well, it's not really an uptrend channel. It's what they would call that a right-hand translation, because this side's up. But there's not really some great trend happening in there yet. And it's testing this trend line, like I said, overhead resistance, and there's a cycle high here. So silver wants to get underway and go higher and stay in that channel. It's got to break that, break a reverse. And you can see here you don't have an orderly trend yet. Orderly uptrend. And gold looks the same way. Might not have that channel, but everybody's looking at gold now, and it still hasn't broke out. It might get right up in here and fail, and they're jumping the shark, and there's a cycle high right here that hasn't printed yet. This is a leading indicator, but it'll print out in here. You have to break that to have a real good, strong, valid weekly uptrend. And X, that's U.S. Steel and Donald Trump's inflationary Reinflationary play might just be over, and it rolled out of this ascending or rising bearish wedge. It's bearish. It morphs into being bearish, a bearish wedge when it breaks. If it doesn't break, then it's just a wedge, a rising wedge. But that's what they do. And treasuries, got that long-term channel, uptrend channel. Going here a little closer. You had this pennant 2014, it broke. You had this pennant 2016, it broke. And came down here, has been testing that cycle low sitting there. And it built this rectangle, and it's tested the bottom of that rectangle. Now it's testing the top of that rectangle. That's overhead resistance. Resistance becomes support if it does break it. And there's a cycle high right here that's going to come in here. So probably like to see it break the rectangle and the cycle high that shows up. Or this could just roll right out of here. Because right here you can see there's still an orderly downtrend. And that's it. Over and out on a crazy walkie-talkie.